Okay guys, so I've got this Freego F12 SUV Pro all-terrain scooter out of the box. Came out of the box really easy. It's all put together and it just has some foam packed around it. You just have to take the foam off. And it does come with the instruction manual. Instruction manuals are a little bit on the skimpy side. They could be better, but you can understand it to put it together pretty easy. And I was able to put it together in less than 5 minutes, okay? It is a foldable, so it can be folded down. This is the folded down version, okay? And it is designed so that one person could pick it up. You can see this? One person can pick this up. You can pick it up and you can put it in your car, your truck, or whatever. You could haul it around with you if you're going to work. You could take it upstairs if you want to put it in inside your apartment or something like that. It does come with the kickstand. It's got a kickstand down here so you can lean it against. Now, the handlebar folds down and then it has a latch, which it took me a minute to figure out what this was. This is the latch down here for unlatching the handlebars, okay? And it latches down in this position so you can hold it. And then you need to unlatch it when you're going to put the handlebars up, and it's got a lock up here, which I'll explain here in a second. So I'll go ahead and put the handlebars up so you can see it in its upright position. You can see I've got footprints on it. I already took it out on the road. Wanted to see because I was trying to figure out how the controls work. And so in order to get it moving, you have to give it a push and then turn the throttle to get it going. So I already tried it and was able to get on it and ride it. I rode it all the way up to the top of the road and back already. So let me unhook this here. You flip this handle down here to get it unlatched, and then you lift it up like this, and then it locks into position. You have to push this little red button. It's got a little red button right here. Push that little red button, and then that latches over. You'll hear it click, and that's locked solid, okay? Now, this is, as you can see, it's got a good platform. It's a good size even for an adult. I can stand very comfortably on this. No problem when I was riding it. Handlebars are just the right height. And I'm about 5'7", 165, 170 pounds. And it steers really well. For a scooter, I'm assuming it steers really well. Because I was able to maneuver this, which I'll show you here out on the road in a minute. And I'll take it off-road too. I was able to maneuver this really well. Now, you don't steer these even though it has handlebars, you don't steer these like turning this way and that way. They're not designed for that. You lean your weight in order to steer them. You'll do a little bit of turning with the handlebars, but most of your steering is done by leaning your weight because it only has the 2 wheels. Now, the wheels are 12-inch. They are 12-inch wheels. They do have tread that will work either off-road or on-road. I would say they're not a real serious off-road tread, but they will handle dirt trails, and I took it around my yard here, which I'll show you. It has a good size platform. I like the platform size. It has the grippy, kind of a rubber grippy plate or mat that's on it right here. And so you get a good grip with your feet. You don't feel like your feet are going to slide out from underneath you. It's got a good, I'm guessing this is probably an aluminum alloy frame. Good solid steering. You do have to put the handlebars on the stem, and that was just a little bit tricky to figure out. You just want to be careful when you're doing it because you have to unscrew this nut right here, and there's a washer underneath that, and then there's another brass washer underneath this piece right here. Just be careful when you're unscrewing this because then you have to slide this center piece off, slide it off, put the handlebars on, slide that back on, and then put those nuts back in the place where they're supposed to go, and then clamp this down real solid, okay? And you may need to adjust this a little bit because this latch right here is what latches to this to hold it in place if you're going to carry it when you got it folded down. So you may need to adjust your handlebars just a little bit to make sure that this goes over this latch right here. That's the only thing that I had to kind of figure out on my own. Now, it does have front suspension, which you can see. It's got front suspension, so if you're going over bumps, or I rode it around here in my yard, which has quite a few little bumps and ripples and ridges, and no problem. I could ride over that quite comfortably if I was doing some off-road riding. It does have fenders. It's got a fender in the front, which feels like that ABS plastic, the hard type of plastic. Good. And it's got extra support here, front and back. And it's got the fender over the rear, of course, and the support here. This does have mechanical brakes, which are good enough for the speed that this will go at. It has mechanical brakes, just so you're aware when you're braking on one of these, and I had to learn this watching a YouTube video, when you're braking, you want to lean backwards. So lean back and then hit your brakes. Otherwise, because if you clamp down on these brakes real hard, you'll go over the handlebars, okay, if you're going at a high speed. So you want to lean back and then hit your brakes. And I would do it unless you have to stop really fast, kind of do it in stages. I slowed down a little bit. I'd also suggest starting off this has 3 speeds, and here's the controller up here. I would suggest starting off in speed 1 until you get used to it. I went up to speed 3 really fast. on it because, you know, I could feel comfortable on it. So and I'm an old guy, you know. To turn on your controls, that's this right here. It turns them on. You just hold it for like 3 seconds. And then I will show you this up close. But this turns on your controller up here. And then you've got an M button, which does everything else. That sets your speed. And if you touch it twice, it also turns on your headlight. This does have a headlight, so we'll turn that on. See if I can get this. There it came on. Kind of hard to see in this light here because it's daylight. But the headlights are on and the tail light should be on. Make sure. Yeah, the tail light's on. It does have a headlight and a tail light. If you happen to be caught out at night riding, you could get home because you got enough tail light and headlight to ride it. Like I said, it does have 3 speeds. It says it will go up to 25 miles per hour. I'm a little bit heavier than probably the guys they tested this with. And so I got it up to 21, almost 22 miles per hour on my road, which is fairly level ground. And so I'm sure if you're a little bit lighter guy, you could probably get it up to 25 miles per hour. It says it'll do 40 miles range, so I don't know. So let's see, did I talk about all the features? This does have a 500 watt motor, which is a very powerful motor, more powerful than some of my e-bikes. And it does have a 48 volt, 18 amp hour battery. The battery's underneath here, okay? And it does, you can't take the battery out to charge it. You have to charge it so you can take it inside with you in your house or your apartment, or set it on your porch or something to charge it up. It does come with a 2 amp charger, okay, which is 110 volt and has the plug-in all ready for it to charge up. And let's see where the charging port is on it. I didn't even look for that. Okay, the charging port is right here. And you just plug in this cord and plug it into a 110 volt and charge it up. I think it says in 3 to 4 hours it should charge up. I would say probably longer than that the first time you charge it up. And then with the range you've got on this, you probably only need to charge it up for maybe an hour or 2 a day if you're riding for most people. Now, who would this be good for? This would probably be really good for a student that's going to college or high school, so they can get back and forth. Maybe they've got an after school job or something like that. Good transportation for that. It would also be good for people that want to go visiting locally, or if you want to do some local adventuring, which is what I'm going to be doing with it. Or because it can be folded down, you could put this in the back of your truck, or you could put it in your Jeep like I will, and you could take this along, and then when you get to the campgrounds or wherever it is that you're going to go recreating or camping, you could pull this out, and you could spend all weekend running around the campground on this right here. And, you know, it doesn't have a basket on this, but most people wear a backpack. You can put a backpack on it, and I think that they make baskets. Now, this doesn't have a basket holder on it, but I think they make aftermarket baskets. You could probably put a basket on the front of this if you wanted to. You maybe even do something with the back end of it. But I think it works really well. So now I'm going to take it, first I'll take it around on my yard here, and I'll show you riding it off-road. And then I'll take it out on the road, and I'll show you riding it on-road. So you can see this old guy, and I'm almost 60, and it's been 40 years since I rode a skateboard. So if I can ride this, you guys that you're around my age, you could still ride one of these. So let's take this and give it a twirl. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you how to ride one of these old guy style. Now I'm an old skateboarder, like I told you. Now some people will tell you how to ride and start on these differently, but I'm going to ride it the way I would a skateboard, with my left foot forward. If you're more comfortable with your right foot forward, that's fine too. Okay, some people like to start with their right foot back, start with their left foot, and then step on with their left foot. I like starting with my left foot forward and then stepping on with my right foot from the other side. I'm going to be on this side over here. So this is how I'm going to be starting position for me. May not work for everybody, but works for me. Now, notice, got my helmet on. Make sure you're wearing a helmet. And I've got good boots on in case I do happen to fall. I am going to be riding this in level 3. I suggest you start out in level 1 when you start out. The other thing is, you want to make sure that your kickstand is up. Okay, just like on a bicycle. Otherwise, if you go to do any type of turn and that kickstand's down, it could throw you off, all right? And just remember that you have to get moving before you can turn the throttle to get going. Push the button here, hold it for 3 seconds. That starts the display up here, starts the scooter so it can go, and then just you can change your speed. So I've got it set on 3 for me. This is your brake over here, left-hand brake. Remember what I said, lean back if you have to brake, and kind of do it in stages. Don't clamp it down all at once or you'll go forward. Okay, do it a little bit, and then slow it down unless you have to stop really fast. All right, so here we go. We're going to get this going here. Just a little push. Give it a roll. There we go. can see it stop. Good test of the brakes right there. Let's see how that looks. mph. Okay, folks. Well, that was a lot of fun. It reminded me a lot of being a teenager riding a skateboard, but at my age, it's probably a lot safer than riding a skateboard because it's got handlebars, it's got brakes, and it's a lot more stable than I actually expected it to be. You know, you'd think with just two wheels standing that low that it might not be stable, but it's actually very comfortable and very stable to ride, even for a guy. And I've had 3 knee surgeries, okay? And so it was very comfortable to stand on. I didn't feel like I was wobbling all over the place. You seen I was able to go in between the yellow lines and weave in and out, and it brakes really well. It has mechanical brakes, and the mechanical brakes are plenty fine for a speed that you're going on this scooter right here. I was actually able to slow it down very fast. Now, I do want to remind you that just like you don't want to slam on your brakes on a car because it's going to throw you forward, you don't want to slam on your brakes on this if you can help it. If you do need to slow down really fast and you're going to clamp down on those brakes, lean back, and then you won't throw yourself over the handlebars or throw yourself off of the scooter. But generally, what you want to do is slow down like you would with a car. Gently touch and fade your brakes until you get slowed down, and then you can clamp down on the brakes and it'll slow you right down to a nice, comfortable speed. It won't lock up the brakes. That's what I've noticed on this, and that's a safety feature. It won't lock up the brakes, so you don't have to worry about it, but you can go into a skid if you're down at a low enough speed, which I did on a couple of those stops, you've seen that I kind of come down into a little bit of a skid, and the brakes were perfect, and I didn't feel like it was going to throw me off at all. Again, just a couple of things here. This does have the clamp, which you need to make sure that these handlebars are in the right position so that this clamp will fit onto that knob down there. You do need to make sure that the handlebars are in the right position. This is clamped down, and don't lose those nuts and screws when you're putting the handlebars on. This is your power control here, which I'll do this with my right hand so you can see what I'm doing here. This is your power control to turn it on, and you just hold it for a second, and that turns it on, and then hopefully you can see this screen up here. This is your display screen, and it shows your miles. It depends on where you're at. It might be in kilometers. Mine was already in miles per hour, and you can set this using the M button, so you can see it changes from 3 there. You can go from 1, which is low speed, 2, which is a medium speed, to 3, which is high speed. Now, this will not turn on or run or go anywhere. See this? Okay, I'm turning the throttle. It won't roll on its own until you give it a slight push. You need to be standing on the platform, give it a push like I showed you there, and then pull on your throttle, and it will take off with you. Now, if you're in 1, it's not going to take off real fast, and that's where I suggest that you start out with to be comfortable. And here's your brake handle. It's got really good mechanical brake handles. It does have a bell. Got a little ding-ding bell to let people know, and that's just a polite thing when you're riding with passengers or you're going to pass somebody. Give them that little ding-ding to let them know that you're coming up there, okay? And it rolls really well. I mean, my yard isn't exactly level. I've got a lot of bumps and everything like that, but it still did off-terrain. So, you know, you could ride this on dirt trails and gravel and that stuff like that. Now, you're not going to go rock hopping. It's not that kind of an off-road vehicle. But you could certainly ride dirt trails and off-road trails on this very comfortably. And with that range, it'd be great for campers and RVers to take something like this along, to fold it into a small package. Or if you like to, you know, just put one in the back of your vehicle and you're going to go up and do some trails or something like that. I was very comfortable with the speed. The speed I got up to, as you've seen, was 21 miles per hour. And I got up to it easily, got up to 21 miles per hour. It says it can go 25. I think if I was a lighter person, smaller person, you probably could get up to that 25 miles per hour. I'm not worried about that. I'm very comfortable at riding at 21 miles per hour on a scooter like this, and felt very comfortable riding at that speed. Again, this is made for adults. It is made for somebody who's at least 16 or older, because it would be considered class 3 in most states. All right, I think this is a great little product, a great scooter. Again, this is the F12. Made by Freego, sold on eBay. It is the F12 Pro scooter, and you can go look for them on eBay or on their website, and I will put the links down for the website in the information for the video. All right, folks, I had a lot of fun making this video. Remind me a lot of being a teenager riding a skateboard, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.